Hello, I'm Paul Michelman, Director of Content for Harvard Business Digital, and our guest today is John Boudreau, Professor at USC's Marshall School of Business and co-author of Beyond HR, The New Science of Human Capital. John, thanks for joining the program.
It's a pleasure, Paul.
So, John, in your work, you emphasize the need to improve the quantity and/or the quality of talent where it makes the most difference in an organization. So implied here, it seems, is a two-step process. First, you need to determine where talent has the biggest impact. And second, you need to figure out how to improve the quantity or the quality of that talent. So first things first, how do we determine where changes in talent practices in the organization would potentially have the biggest effect?
Well, that's a big question. Obviously, there's a great deal of analysis that goes on to connect business processes or strategy to talent. What we describe in the book and what we've found is that it's very helpful to break it down into its components. So strategy questions often revolve around how we compete, what makes us different, how we're going to protect that difference, and how we create value. With that in place, we can begin to drop down and think about processes, resources, and other supporting elements. So we can ask things like, if this process is critical, where's the bottleneck in that process? What's pivotal in that process? If we have a resource, we can ask ourselves, is it about getting more, or is it about protecting the resources we have, or is it about making them more valuable? Those strategic pivot points are really important as the basis for understanding where talent might make the big difference. For example, if you think about Disneyland, the high-level strategy is surprising and delighting customers, and I think everyone would agree on that. But at that level, we can't really say where the pivot points are in talent or strategy. Turns out Disney does a lot of things well. But one of the things that everyone says could be improved is waiting in line. It's a bottleneck. It's a place where there's a great pivot point for Disney. So the talent that might be most pivotal at Disney might be the